Did you know there are private islands in the world where every single owner has died under mysterious circumstances, murdered, bankrupt, or driven to suicide? And I'm not talking about some ancient legend. Welcome to a list of the craziest private islands that actually exist. Every island on this list is or was privately owned and has a story so wild you won't believe it's real. Some were bought by billionaires for pocket change, others became crime scenes, and one is cursed. As the list goes on, each island becomes more and more insane. There's an island on this list that burned down twice and was rebuilt both times. Island number 3 was bought by a tech billionaire for $300 million, and he owns 98% of it, including the 3,200 people who live there. Number 6 is where Jackie Kennedy got married, and where the entire family would die in tragedy. Number 9 is cursed. Every owner, murdered, suicide, bankruptcy, or worse. Nobody will buy it. And the final island on this list became headquarters for one of the most notorious criminals in modern history. Today, it's being turned into a luxury resort. But let's start with number 1, the island that cost $120,000 and has survived 2 hurricanes. This is island number 1. In 1979, Richard Branson was flying over the British Virgin Islands when he spotted a gorgeous uninhabited island for sale. The asking price? $10 million. Branson was only 29 years old. He countered with an offer of $120,000, and somehow they accepted. For the price of a nice apartment, Richard Branson became the owner of a 74-acre Caribbean paradise. He immediately built an 11-bedroom Balinese mansion called the Great House, and turned Necker into an exclusive eco-resort. Over the years, the island has hosted some of the most famous people on the planet. Barack Obama vacationed here. Larry Page got married here. Princess Diana, Prince Harry, and Kate Middleton have all stayed on Necker. But here's where things get crazy. In 2011, during Hurricane Irene, the Great House was struck by lightning and burned to the ground. The entire mansion gone. Branson rebuilt it. Then, in 2017, Hurricane Irma came through and completely flattened the island again. Everything destroyed, again. Most people would have given up. Not Branson. He rebuilt it, again. Today, if you want to rent the entire island for a week, it'll cost you over $50,000 per night. The island runs on renewable energy, has over 200 flamingos roaming around, and even has a private submarine that costs $2,500 a day to use. Necker Island survived 2 catastrophic hurricanes, hosted royalty and presidents, and only cost $120,000 to buy. From a billionaire's $120,000 bargain that survived 2 hurricanes, we moved to an island that isn't owned by one person. It's owned by over 100 of the world's richest and most famous. A place where royalty and rock stars live side by side and paparazzi are absolutely forbidden. This is island number 2. Mustique is a private island in the Caribbean that's become the ultimate playground for royalty, rock stars, and the ultra-wealthy. The island is owned by the Mustique Company, which is itself owned by about 120 private villa owners. This isn't a resort you visit, it's a community you buy into. The island's history is insane. In 1960, British aristocrat Colin Tennant bought the island for just $67,000. To promote it, he gave Princess Margaret, the sister of Queen Elizabeth, a 10-acre plot of land as a wedding gift. Margaret built a villa there and spent decades hosting parties and living the kind of life that British royals definitely weren't supposed to live. She famously said, "Mustique is the only place I can relax." Once royalty was involved, celebrities followed. Mick Jagger owns 2 villas on the island. Tommy Hilfiger has a mansion here. David Bowie owned a home here before selling it in the 90s. Prince William and Kate Middleton vacation here regularly. And here's what makes Mustique truly different. Paparazzi are completely banned from the island. If you're caught taking unauthorized photos, you're kicked off immediately. The airport runway is deliberately too short for private jets, so even billionaires have to take smaller planes. In 2019, When shareholders voted on whether to expand the runway, many showed up wearing shirts that said, "No JFK." They didn't want the island to become too accessible. One estate on Mustique was recently listed for $200 million, making it the most expensive home in the Caribbean. From an island owned by a collective of billionaires and royalty, we moved to something even more extreme. An island so massive that one man bought 98% of it, including the 3,200 people who live there. It's not just a private island, it's an experiment. This is island number 3. In 2012, Larry Ellison, the co-founder of Oracle, bought Lanai, the 6th largest island in Hawaii, for $300 million. This isn't a small private getaway. This is 141 square miles of land with 3,200 residents, 2 Four Seasons resorts, and virtually no traffic lights or shopping malls. Ellison bought 98% of the entire island. The other 2% is owned by private residents and the local government. But Lanai isn't just a vacation home, it's an experiment. Ellison has invested an additional $340 million into turning Lanai into what he calls a model of sustainable living. The island now runs on renewable energy, has massive organic farms, and features state-of-the-art water purification systems. Ellison wants to prove that you can create a self-sustaining community that's both luxurious and environmentally responsible. But here's the thing. Ellison essentially owns the entire local economy. If you live on Lanai, you're living on Larry Ellison's island, playing by Larry Ellison's rules. The 2 Four Seasons resorts charge over $2,000 per night for a room. Some locals appreciate the investment. Ellison has brought jobs and infrastructure improvements. Others feel uneasy about one person having so much control over an entire island with thousands of residents. For now, Lanai remains one of the most ambitious private island projects in the world, a place where cutting-edge technology meets tropical paradise. But it's also a reminder that when you have enough money, you don't just buy property, you buy power. From a tech billionaire's Hawaiian experiment, we moved to another billionaire who decided one island wasn't enough. After buying his first private island, he went back and bought a second one right next door. And this time, he had a very different plan. This is island number 4. After Richard Branson bought Necker Island, you'd think he'd be satisfied. But apparently, one private island wasn't enough. In 2007, Branson purchased Mosquito Island, located right next to Necker, for $12.5 million. But instead of building another personal retreat, Branson had a different vision. He wanted to create a billionaire neighborhood. Mosquito Island is divided into multiple ultra-luxury estates, each owned by different billionaires. The idea is that wealthy people can own their own private villa while sharing infrastructure like renewable energy systems, organic gardens, and private beaches. It's like a gated community, but instead of houses, everyone owns their own section of a private island. Branson himself keeps a multi-villa estate on Mosquito called the Branson Estate. Other estates, like the Oasis, the Point, the Village, and Cape Stout, are available to rent for eye-watering sums. If you want to rent just one estate for a week, it'll cost you tens of thousands of dollars. If you want to rent the entire island for a full buyout, you're looking at 7 figures. What makes Mosquito different from Necker is the focus on sustainability. 80% of the island's energy comes from renewable sources. There are organic gardens that supply fresh produce. The architecture is designed to blend into the natural environment. Mosquito Island proves that even private islands can have private islands. And when you're Richard Branson, why settle for one when you can have 2? From a billionaire's private neighborhood in the Caribbean, we moved to an island with one of the most beautiful and tragic stories in modern history. A place where one of the world's most famous weddings took place, and where an entire family would be destroyed. This is island number 5. Skorpios is a private island off the coast of Greece that was purchased by Greek shipping magnate Aristotle Onassis in 1963 for roughly $10,000. Onassis transformed the island into his personal paradise, planting 200 species of trees and building a luxurious villa. The island's most famous moment came on October 20th, 1968, when Jacqueline Kennedy, the widow of President John F. Kennedy, married Aristotle Onassis in a private ceremony on Scorpios. It was one of the most talked about weddings in history. And in 1971, paparazzi managed to photograph Jackie sunbathing nude on a secluded beach on Scorpios. The photos were published worldwide, causing an international scandal. Privacy, even on a private island, was impossible. But the real tragedy of Scorpios came in 1973. On January 20th, Aristotle's birthday, his beloved son Alexander was killed in a plane crash. Alexander was only 25 years old. Onassis was devastated. He famously said, "I have no reason to live anymore." He was right. 2 years later, in 1975, Aristotle Onassis died. His daughter Christina inherited the island, and in the 1980s, she revived Scorpios' party scene. But rumors swirled of wild behavior and increasingly erratic decisions. Christina died in 1988 at just 37 years old under mysterious circumstances. Today, all three Onassises, Aristotle, Alexander, and Christina, are buried on Scorpios. In 2013, the island was sold to Ekaterina Rybolovleva, the daughter of Russian billionaire Dmitry Rybolovlev, for $153 million. She's currently turning it into an ultra-luxury resort. Scorpios was supposed to be paradise. Instead, it became a graveyard. From a Greek island marked by tragedy, we moved to one of the most beautiful private islands in the world, a place purchased by the co-founder of Red Bull, where sustainability meets luxury in the middle of the South Pacific. This is island number 6. Laukala Island in Fiji was purchased in 2003 by Dietrich Mateschitz, the co-founder of Red Bull, for just $10 million. The island spans 3,500 acres and features volcanic mountains, rainforests, coconut plantations, and pristine white sand beaches. Mateschitz transformed Laukala into an ultra-luxury eco-resort that focuses on sustainability and environmental responsibility. The island has organic farms that grow most of the food served at the resort. Renewable energy powers the entire operation. The architecture blends seamlessly into the natural landscape. Guests stay in private villas that cost thousands of dollars per night, and the resort offers everything from horseback riding to scuba diving to world-class dining. It's the kind of place where billionaires go to unwind in total privacy while still enjoying 5-star service. Mateschitz, who passed away in 2022, was known for being reclusive and private. Laukala was his personal retreat, a place where he could escape the public eye and enjoy the beauty of nature. Unlike some of the other islands on this list, Laukala doesn't have a dark history. There are no curses, no murders, no tragedies. It's just a stunningly beautiful island that represents what private islands were supposed to be, peaceful private paradises. But, as we're about to see, not all private islands are so fortunate. From a peaceful eco-paradise in Fiji, we move to something much darker. An island owned by 2 of the most reclusive billionaires in the world. They built a Gothic castle with 3-foot-thick walls, and when one brother died, he may have been buried there. This is island number 7. Breccu is a 74-acre private island in the Channel Islands, located off the coast of England. In 1993, it was purchased by British billionaire twins Sir David and Sir Frederick Barclay, who made their fortune in hotels, shipping, and media. The Barclay twins are known for being extremely reclusive, so reclusive that the last known photograph of them was taken in the year 2000. The twins built a mock Gothic castle on Breccu, designed by British architect Quinlan Terry. The castle features 3-foot-thick granite walls, 2 swimming pools, a helipad, and luxurious reception rooms. It looks like something out of a medieval fantasy, imposing and isolated. The Barclay twins were so obsessed with privacy that they fought numerous legal battles to keep people away from the island. Security clearance is required to visit, and even guests staying at luxury hotels on the neighboring island of Sark need permission to approach Breku. But here's where the story gets even darker. In January 2021, Sir David Barclay died unexpectedly at the age of 86, and there are rumors, unconfirmed but persistent, that he was buried somewhere on the island. Even more disturbing, before David's death, the twins had a bitter falling out. Sir Frederick was reportedly banned from Breco, forbidden from visiting his own brother on the island they had owned together for decades. Today, the future of Breco is unclear. The castle still stands, isolated and imposing, and the Barclay family's secrets remain buried, perhaps literally, on the island. From a Gothic castle owned by reclusive billionaires, we move to an island that some people believe is cursed, an island off the coast of Italy where every single owner has met a tragic fate. Murder, suicide, bankruptcy, kidnapping, nobody will buy it. This is island number 8. Gaiola is a tiny island off the coast of Naples, Italy. Just 2 small rocky islets connected by a narrow stone bridge, located only 30 meters from shore. It's surrounded by ancient Roman ruins and emerald green waters. It looks like paradise. But Gaiola Island has a reputation. Some call it cursed. The island's first known resident was a hermit in the early 1800s, known only as the Wizard. One day, he simply vanished. No body was ever found. In the 1920s, the owner of a villa built on the island was found murdered, his body stuffed inside a rolled-up carpet. Shortly afterward, his wife drowned in the calm waters of the Gulf of Naples. The next owner, a wealthy German named Otto Grunbach, suffered a fatal heart attack while staying on the island. The next owner, a Swiss pharmaceutical tycoon, went insane and committed suicide in a mental hospital. Then came Gianni Agnelli, the head of Fiat. His son committed suicide. His nephew, who replaced the son as heir to the Fiat empire, died of an extremely rare form of cancer at age 33. Next was Paul Getty, the oil billionaire. His oldest son committed suicide. His youngest son died under mysterious circumstances, and his grandson was famously kidnapped. His captors cut off his ear and mailed it to the family, demanding $3 million in ransom. The last private owner, Gianpasquale Grappone, was imprisoned for debt. His wife died in a car crash shortly afterward. And even after the Italian government took ownership of the island in 1978, strange events continued. In 2009, a couple was murdered in a villa directly across from Gaiola. Today, the island sits abandoned. The villa is crumbling, and nobody wants to buy it. From an island that may be cursed, we move to an island with a story so dark it's almost impossible to comprehend. An island that became headquarters for one of the most notorious criminals in modern history. And today, it's being turned into a luxury resort. This is island number 9. In 1998, financier Jeffrey Epstein purchased Little St. James, a 70-acre island in the U.S. Virgin Islands, for $7.95 million. For over 20 years, Epstein used the island as headquarters for one of the most horrific sex trafficking operations in modern history. The island featured a main compound, multiple guest villas, a helipad, and a mysterious blue-striped temple with a golden dome. Inside the buildings, investigators later found disturbing details. Bedrooms with locks on the outside, a room with a dentist's chair, and a phone with speed dial buttons labeled with first names. In 2019, Jeffrey Epstein was arrested and charged with sex trafficking. He died in jail under suspicious circumstances before he could stand trial. In December 2025, the House Oversight Committee released never-before-seen photos from inside Little St. James, images of bedrooms, the pool area, and that eerie dentist's chair. And here's the most disturbing part. In 2023, billionaire Stephen Dekoff purchased both Little St. James and the neighboring Great St. James Island for $60 million. His plan? To turn them into a luxury resort. Little St. James is still out there, right now, being renovated and prepared for its next chapter. The buildings where unspeakable crimes occurred will soon host wealthy guests. After getting to know those islands, one question remains. Which one shocked you the most? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.